Welcome to the Short-Term Rental Playmaker Podcast, where we break down what it really takes to win in short-term rentals in today's market. From insider tips and emerging trends to real conversations with top playmakers in the space, this show gives you the tools, strategies, and mindset to build and scale a successful short-term rental business. Now, here's your host, Joe Roney.
Today's episode is brought to you by Savvy STR Agents, the short-term rental real estate experts helping investors find profitable vacation rental properties nationwide. If you're serious about scaling your STR portfolio, Savvy STR Agents should be your first call.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Short-Term Rental Playmaker Podcast. Super excited to be solo today and just chat a little bit about being in the summer season, right? We are right in the heart of it. In July, some of us might start to be experiencing a little bit of that short-term rental burnout. We've had guests in and out, day in and day out, maintenance issues, things that are getting broken, things that are, happening, and just want to kind of chat a little bit about it today because I know it's something that everybody's experiencing right now. I've talked to many other hosts, many other people in this space, and it happens. We're getting towards the middle tail end of peak season, but hang in there. Like we're almost to the finish line. But, want to just kind of chat through a couple of things that have really, really worked for us this summer. And I think has really helped us have a more successful summer than we've had over the past 4 years. Because this truly for us has been one of the best summers. And it's been really great for a couple of different things. Number one, and everybody knows, I hired a revenue manager, right? And I hired a revenue manager last year in the fall. And that has probably been the number one thing that has made my summer so great because I'm not waking up and logging into Price Labs to look at pricing and look at what my competition is doing and look at that. And most of you know, I'm not the kind of host that wants all my stuff booked 6 months ahead of time. If you booked all your properties back in February and you were fully booked for the summer and you're happy, great. I feel like I would be leaving money on the table by doing that. So I like to keep my prices a little bit higher and be closer to the last people to book. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, people don't book that late, on big properties. Well, I just closed on 2 properties recently. I'm filming this in June, and this is coming out, I think, in July. So I closed on 2 properties at the beginning of June. And they were 6-bedroom, 4.5 bath, block and a half to the beach homes. And one of them took over a house with literally 1 booking for the whole summer because they had taken it off the market and put it on the market to sell. Within weeks, they had $50,000 to $60,000 worth of bookings on the books. Like weeks. So didn't even go live until after June 1st and already has 50 to 60K on the books and probably will hit 80 to 90K for the summer. So for those of you who think, oh, I got to get all my bookings ahead of time for summer, I'm telling you, that is not the case. I've closed on a lot of deals in May and early June that people are waiting. They're waiting till last minute to do these vacations. Even now, I sit here in mid-June and my July is about 65% full. And I promise you, we're going to crush our July. We're up in the month of June, double digits over last year. And my 10 properties are over $330,000 in gross revenue for the month of June right now. I didn't even hit 200 last year. Now we've added some better properties and we dropped a few properties, but yeah, like it's a great summer right now. That being said, we're getting, some really great guests. There's some days I wake up, work, do my thing, go to bed, and I don't hear from a single guest that whole day. And then there's days that, like yesterday, that I had 3 people check in and all 3 people had issues. One wasn't happy there was a running toilet. We had the handyman there putting a new flapper in within 30 minutes. They were happy. Another one had a low battery on a door thing that the handyman missed, part of our maintenance check. They actually did their maintenance check that day and forgot to change the battery. No big deal. We got it taken care of. And then you get the occasional guest that, sent me a request last night. They wanted a $2,500 refund because there's a house being built 4 doors down, and they didn't know that there was construction happening. And when they sat on the balcony, they could hear the workers working or the hammers hammering. So, we get all kinds, but we also get really great guests, and they're down there on this vacation and having a great time. The monthly maintenance checks is one of the things that I think has probably helped my summer so far the best. And it's because my handyman is going into every property around the first of the month and checking everything. And when I say check everything, like they're looking at my cornhole bags to make sure they're good and making sure that we have putters and golf balls and enough forks and knives. I just had to order some silverware the other day. Handyman went in and said, I don't know what happened. You had 16 forks and now there's 9. Well, we sleep 12, so I need to get some more forks in there. So, we just placed an order, got it there the next day. All is good. But I wouldn't have known that if I didn't have a handyman going in there to check it. And yes, the cleaners should tell me. Don't get me wrong. We all have our things that our cleaners do really great and some things that they're not as great at. So the cleaner should have noticed that and let me know that we were missing forks. But the handyman went in there, did their maintenance check and saw it. Changed some light bulbs for me. Saw a toilet paper holder that started to get a little bit of rust on it and swapped out that toilet paper holder. Looked at just different things that they're looking at on a monthly basis. And I'm paying for that, for them to go in and do this maintenance check, but it's keeping my properties like they're brand new all season long, right? We talk about at the beginning of the year, getting your house ready for battle, getting your house ready for war and doing all this great stuff. But if you only do it in February and you don't look at your property again until August, you're going to have deferred maintenance issues by the end of summer. So I think that's been one of the biggest wins that I've had this year of having, and we had a maintenance check last year, but I can't say it was great. This year it's great, and I am really, really happy with the results. I've had less guest complaints, less guest issues, and so far it's been going really, really well. So number one thing that's worked for me so far this season is revenue management. It's saving me so many hours weekly. I was able to go on vacation with my family to the Virgin Islands during peak week for a whole week, and I probably worked less than 30 minutes a day in my short-term rental business. So really, really happy. I could not have done that a year ago or 2 years ago. Having the maintenance man getting there and double checking and doing these things is preventing more guest issues, more guest stuff from coming. And then the third thing that I added, and I think I talked about it recently, is I added Happy Guest this year. And Happy Guest, I'm going to have them on the show hopefully this early fall, maybe in August. But it has been a game changer for me. I absolutely love it. If you don't know what Happy Guest is, Google it. But it is number one, it's a damage protection. So similar to what like Wavo or Steadily or Safely or one of these other companies that does damage protection, but it's also a guidebook and your not security deposits, but your release liability, having them sign for that. They're uploading their ID. So basically it's kind of an all-in-one place. So before I joined Happy Guest, I had my email that went out or message that went out and said, okay, here's your rental agreement, sign it. Here's another one sent out. Here's the security deposit, fill that out. Here's another link for the guidebook. All these different messages and different links that are going out. Now I have it all in one place. I literally, when they book, it sends them a message that says, please go on this link and register. First thing it has them do is take a picture of their ID and a selfie with their ID. What that does is gives us protection on chargebacks, because now I have their ID and them taking a picture and submitting it to me. Then they're signing my rental agreement, which agrees to the terms and conditions of renting our property. Number 2, it's protecting me from getting chargebacks. Number 3, then, part of it is it has the damage protection. So I'm no longer collecting security deposits anymore. For $37 per booking, I have $1,500 of the damage protection. I submitted a claim just a few days ago, a bed that got damaged. The leg broke out and part of it broke a little bit. Handyman went over there. It was like $150 for them to fix it. They had it fixed. I submitted the receipt to Happy Guest, I literally was paid out 24 hours later. Already done. I didn't have to charge the guest for a security deposit or take money from them. I didn't have to charge the owner. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. I was just reimbursed, and it was a game changer. And that made my life so much easier. So it has all of that. And then it also has the digital guidebook for my guests, all of our restaurants and places to go and things to do. And there's upsells on it. If I want people to, if they want to get early check-in, they can pay on there if it's available to get early check-in, $10 per hour. If it's 4 hours early, they're paying an extra $40 or whatever it is, however you set it. So there's upsells that you can do on this. There are so many things in this one little tool. And yes, I'm paying $37 for each one for damage protection, but I'm charging the guest a $49 management fee. So now on top of that, I'm making an extra $12 per reservation in profit. And if I'm doing 40 reservations times 10 properties, that's 400 reservations a year, probably closer to 500 reservations a year. Guess what? That's a lot of money back in my pocket. $5,000 that I'm making on this. So this is another thing that we added to the mix going into peak season this year that we didn't have before. So, doing the revenue management, having the monthly maintenance checks, having Happy Guest saved my life, and we're finally implementing the AI tools, some of the stuff that we talked about with Bill and Chris a couple weeks ago. If you did not watch that episode, make sure you go back and watch the episode with Bill and Chris on AI, and make sure that you're ready to implement that going into this off season. It's going to be very robust and a lot of things happening as we go into the end of this peak season. So I really hope everyone's having a great summer. Right. It definitely can get burnout sometimes. It definitely can be a lot. And if you're managing 10, 15, 20, 50 properties, I am sure you are, spinning your head sometimes on what you have going on. So having those systems, having those processes, having those things in place is so crucial. And if you don't, whatever's going wrong this year, whatever you feel like, I need to fix that, or I need to do this differently, make notes. Make notes. And when you get to the end of this peak season, put an action plan together on how you're going to fix that so next summer isn't so stressful, right? This can be an amazing business. It's been a life-changing business for me and my family and for a lot of my listeners out there. But you got to do things every year to level up and improve and make things easier and better and create a better guest experience. So all of that is huge. And all of that is really what it's going to take to be successful in this business long term. I've seen people that have been in this business for 3 or 4 years that are already talking like, oh, I might want to get out, and they're looking at other opportunities, and that's okay. This business is not for everyone. Just because you can make money at it, if you're not happy, it definitely is not the business for you, and that's okay. There's lots of great business opportunities out there. But if this is where you're at and you love this space and you want to continue to grow and level up, get those systems in place, get your processes in place, figure out what didn't work this year, and let's make it better for next year. That's all I got this week. I hope you guys are having an awesome summer, and looking forward to talking to you next time on the Short Term Rental Playmaker podcast.